Oh, yeah, we got butter cookies. We got the homemade butter cookies from BRGRBELLY, which...
They're almost famous.
That's your reward.
Butter cookies.
If you can clean your plate, Lauren, you get the butter cookies.
Yeah.
Hold out your hand.
Yes.
Feel how dense this is.
Oh.
It's like a dwarf star cradled in your hands.
Dude, I can get a workout right now.
I know. That's what I'm telling
curls.
myself. This is my exercise.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
Nice car.
Yeah, it's rigged up with cameras, which is a totally natural thing for a Mazda 3. Do you have a drink in here somewhere?
Yes.
Water?
Yes.
All right, so I should explain what we're doing here.
Okay.
For this episode of Car Con Carne, we're actually rehearsing for a television pilot. Mm-hmm. Lauren O'Neill, midday host on 101 WKQX, is sitting in the front seat with me. Thank you for hanging out. We're at BRGRBELLY in Portage Park.
I mean, thanks for having me.
Amazing burgers. They grind their own meat and mix it with pork. They bake their own bread. And you came along for this experiment I'm doing here.
Yep.
So explain what you see in front of you.
I see, I'm going to have to use a technical term here, light thingies. That there's a lot of things suction to your windshield.
Uh-huh.
A lot of things are blinking.
They're obscuring the dashboard Jesus that normally sits there.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hope he's still blessing us right now.
He is. Well, he is blessing us because we're at BRGRBELLY on Irving Park Road. So, yeah, so what's happening here is this is a pilot for WCIU. Rehearsal for a pilot. I think you're awesome. We've never had hang time together.
We haven't, and I can't believe that.
I know. So I figured we'd eat some food. And really, Lauren, I want to talk about you.
Okay.
All right. All right, so what did you get? You ordered...
I got the old...
Old-time religion, right?
Yes.
All right, this looks like you. Portobello.
With a mushroom.
You went vegetarian.
I went shroom, yeah.
So that means your burger is about 5,000 less calories than mine.
Maybe. But it also means I didn't get the pork belly mixed in, which might have been a big mistake.
I got the House of the Rising Sun, which has a fried egg on it.
Yeah, which you can never go wrong with an egg on a burger.
You know, I think if you're going to eat something in a car, especially with cameras on, something with fried egg is the way to go.
Smart.
Wait, you brought the napkins?
I did.
There are literally like 6 napkins here.
But look how little they are.
How dainty of an eater do you think I am? I need like a roll of Bounty paper towels.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that 6 is too many. These are adorable little napkins.
This burger is ginormous.
Yeah,
all right,
really
so
big. It
some
smells
background.
so good.
Some background. I do need a beverage here. You came to us being Chicago.
Yep.
Go ahead and eat as we talk.
Yeah?
Yeah, why not? You came to us from Florida.
I did.
From Tampa.
I'm going to put the cookies up here. Very important.
Oh, yeah, we got butter cookies. We got the homemade butter cookies from BRGRBELLY, which...
They're almost famous.
That's your reward.
Butter cookies.
If you can clean your plate, Lauren, you get the butter cookies.
Yeah. If you don't end up with egg on your face, James, you get the butter cookies.
Here, hang on. Hold out your hand.
Yes.
Feel how dense this is.
Oh.
It's like a dwarf star cradled in your hands.
Dude, I can get a workout right now.
I know. That's what I'm
curls.
telling myself. This is my exercise. So you came to us from Florida. You were in radio. Mm-hmm. There. Were you one of those people who just knew from a young age that was what you wanted to do, or did you want to be a veterinarian? Did you want to be...
I wanted to do everything else, actually. I never ate seafood growing up because I wanted to be a marine biologist. And living in Florida, that's...
Right?
Kind of different. Well, besides...
I saw a dolphin's tail.
Yeah, I was from Florida.
So how did you end up as a broadcaster?
So I was going to school at the University of Florida, and I was a public relations major, and I was a dance minor, and figured...
I think most people who study dance like to eat burgers like what we're about to have.
They go together.
Uh-huh.
So I was bartending at the Purple Porpoise. And
which sounds like a 70s nightclub.
And it is.
Okay, fair enough.
It was. R.I.P. But there was a concert series that they would have once a week hosted by the radio station, which was not a college station. It was affiliated with a college because it was on the campus, but it was actually an independent, out of the state of Florida, 100,000 watt tower rock station.
Got it.
So I would always work these nights, and I loved it. I loved being around the music. I loved being around the people. And I think I kind of threatened the promotions director to hire me.
How does that work?
Yeah.
You're kind of a tiny person.
I can be pretty threatening.
Okay.
Especially when I'm hungry.
You get hangry?
Probably, yeah.
Show a little edge?
A little bit.
Uh-huh.
So he took a chance on me. I started as an, unpaid intern.
Right.
And I worked my way through the ranks, and I was there for 4.5 years. And by the end of it, I had my own local show.
So you did the local music show where you were. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, no disrespect to the midday gig you do at KQX, but that's always been my favorite thing on the radio because you have absolute control. Mm-hmm. You're listening to music. You're inundated with stuff. You're the go-to.
Yeah.
It's a really exciting thing. Did you love it?
I absolutely loved it. And the one thing, it was a good and a bad thing, that once you graduate, you can't work at the station anymore if you're not a student.
Right.
So
you intentionally failed your classes.
It was like, I'm never...
Your parents were so proud.
...going to graduate. And they were like, we understand.
We support you, honey. Yeah. Whatever you want.
So I wanted to parlay. I really had built something there, and the local music scene in Gainesville is incredible. Mm-hmm. Amazing bands.
I'm trying to think of Gainesville bands. Is that Less Than Jake?
Less Than Jake.
Okay.
Against Me,
yeah.
originally. At the time, bands like Revival. Mm-hmm. There's this incredible punk and ska scene. Mm-hmm. The scene supported itself. Mm-hmm. Which is, I find that hard to come by since leaving Gainesville.
Right.
And I was spoiled being there because bands who would play shows would support the other bands. They would support each other. I mean, everybody was out at shows. Doesn't matter what else was going on.
You're talking about a true sense of a community.
Yeah. So then when I left Gainesville and I ended up landing a job in Tampa, I was very surprised that the scene was so different.
Sure.
And obviously much more spread out, but bands weren't supporting each other, and I was pushing so hard to have the opportunity to do a local show on the radio station, and after a while it was like, I don't know why I'm fighting for this, because these bands don't even care to support each other, so it was sad.
If I didn't know better, I would think you're the only person who works at 101 WKQX. Every time I turn it on, whether it's a promo, commercial, whatever, it's your voice. If I didn't know better, if I hadn't listened at other times of the day, if I hadn't walked through the halls, I would think you're the only person who works there. You're everywhere.
I don't mean to be, I'm sorry.
No, it's not a condemnation, it's just an obseration.
Too much Lauren.
All right, before we get there, we should at least try the food.
Yeah, can I have a bite of this?
Yeah, because we're here at lunchtime, and this... Look at this.
Come on. This is ridiculous. Look at this thing.
I'm glad we've already passed the threshold of meeting each other for the first time.
Now we can just get dirty.
Yeah, there is nothing about this that's going to be easy. Look at this.
This is going to end up in my hair.
Yes, it will. I need one of those snake jaws that just collapses and opens wide, because there's no other way to fit this in my mouth.
Oh, you know what's really fun? You're going to learn something about me, too, right now.
You can do that?
Watch.
Dear Lord. What I just witnessed was superhuman. My God. I can't even compete at that level of mouth opening. Mm-hmm. I'm oddly titillated, too. All right, here we go.
Oh, my God. There's so much going on.
There's so much flavor here. Like I said, they make their own bread. And you can taste it. It's delicious.
Yeah. The texture is great.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got goat cheese and a truffle aioli.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's just kind of melding together.
I'm being very careful with my napkin. I don't want to tear through it. I'm trying to be very sparing with how often I go to the napkin.
I really should grab more.
You're smart. You're doing some finger licking, which is a good strategy in light of lack of napkins.
You washed your hands, right?
Oh, absolutely. But BRGRBELLY nails it. They've got pork mixed in here. I've got Bloody Mary sauce on my burger. This is a substantial, delicious burger. All right, I had to get some food in my stomach. Mm-hmm. All right, so you came to Chicago 4 years ago, and I'm asking you this as you have food in your mouth, because watch what happens. We asked Lauren O'Neill to take a giant bite of food and then talk about her career.
It's a good look for me.
Mm-hmm. So explain what happened. You got a call.
What happened? Well, I was laid off in Florida, and that was a pretty emotional time for me, which caused me to do some soul searching and contemplated getting out of this industry altogether.
Mm-hmm. I've been there.
Yeah.
I've had those moments.
I had been at this station for 7 years. It was my hometown. I had landed my dream job out of college, and the company had gone through some ebbs and flows, and I had always stuck in there and just knew that on the other end of it, it would be worth it. And then, yeah. So I just took some time to contemplate other things. I thought about opening a restaurant.
Really?
I wouldn't say exactly a restaurant, a little pizza joint in downtown St. Pete that would have organic pizza, and as it grew, get a bigger spot, get some music in there, and just kind of, that's, I think, ultimately something I would love to have. A restaurant, maybe, like BRGRBELLY, with music, and integrate the venue restaurant thing. But
can I be front of house? Can I host?
Absolutely.
Host, cashier?
You can interview everyone as they come in.
I love it.
We'll make
Welcome to Lauren's
the
Pizza.
customer, you're the rock star.
That's right.
There you go. So a former boss of mine heard and said, listen, take the time that you need, but don't stand by too long, because I have a list of people that are expecting to hear from you. So
that former boss is like a guardian angel.
Yeah,
I mean, you realize that's a rarity.
He's always been really great. So one of the people on the list was Jim Richards here in, actually based out of the Merchandise Mart, and at the time it was to launch Q87.7. Excuse me. So,
which was the alternative station on 87.7,
yes,
which had formerly been Smooth Jazz.
Yes.
It gets a little confusing.
It's a little.
The history there
but
is
that's just radio in general. The whole
Yeah.
industry is this weird.
Well, the evolution of alternative music on the FM dial in Chicago is bonkers.
Yeah.
That's
and people
an
are
extreme.
very passionate here, which
Yeah.
I love. I love it about this city. But he brought me up here at the end of June when it was the most beautiful weather I'd ever seen. Everybody was outside.
That's how they get you. That's how they do it. Oh, come to the lakefront.
I know.
Have you
And
seen
then-
the Bean? Oh, there's Millennium Park. There's
Look how
Michigan
great
Avenue.
it is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sign me up.
Do you
Let's
like
do
shoes?
this.
Here's Michigan Avenue. Let's go for a walk.
Right, just make sure you have a jacket.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a fun realization that Florida winter clothes are not real winter clothes.
No,
You're
they're not.
immediately aware once the wind hits you of how many pieces of
Oh, yeah.
your skin is showing.
So I have to say, I mean, you are one of my favorite air personalities in Chicago. You have a wonderful way of communicating. Have you taken to Chicago? I mean, like, with all that Florida behind you, are you comfortable saying, yeah, I've dropped anchor in Chicago, this is where I want to be?
Yes. But I like the analogy of the anchor because that means I'm in a boat. And that also means that I can boat around.
So one of the things I like about you, you're a music fan.
Yes.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with someone recently. When I got into radio, I got into it because I love music. Here's a way for me to talk about music, play music,
Yep.
awesome, and get paid for it. What surprised me when I started in radio is so many people who were working in radio, they were just there to talk. I mean, that was their thing. Like, I want to be a celebrity. I want to be a disc jockey. The music couldn't have made less of a difference.
Yeah.
If they were playing Iggy Azalea or Pantera, didn't matter. As long as they were in a position where they could be in the spotlight.
Yeah, I've never been that kind of person. I've been very, I don't know if it's made me very narrow-sighted, but I've only been able to consider any jobs in a rock format. I could do any rock format, but so this was my first dip into the alternative pool.
All right, so you're a metal person.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, all right, you're at home or you're driving. What are you listening to? Like, what's that band that just takes you right there?
There's a lot. I also am not just a metalhead.
Well, no one is just one thing.
I really have a diverse palette for my ears. Is that?
Yeah, well, I think it's true. I mean, well, you and I both work at WKQX. I work on the fringes on Sunday nights, but I mean that is one general type of music. But I don't have any expectation that is all listeners listen to. I know if I were to look at your phone, or if we looked at my phone, you'd see an almost insane genre-spanning list of artists and songs, and I think that's perfectly normal.
I would have to say that my go-tos usually consist, like what really does it for me is Lamb of God, Queens of the Stone Age, Pantera. I have to put myself in a mood first and then think, what do I go for?
What's the best concert you've ever seen?
Oh, I can't answer that.
Sure you can.
Okay. The most impactful concert that I've ever been a part of was our first Night We Stole Christmas here, because it was Q87.7. We were facing so many challenges just being on that frequency because people's cars' radios didn't go down that low. Right. We couldn't tell if anyone heard us,
the way
we existed.
The way I described it back then, have you ever seen the movie Being John Malkovich, where the elevator stops on like the 13.5 floor? That's the way I felt 87.7 was on the dial. Like, some people can figure out how to get there, but not everybody.
Yeah, and we kind of used that. We did guerrilla marketing. I mean, it was...
I remember seeing that the station did that and booked that show. I thought, wow. Like, I was looking at it from the outside. I can't believe they actually pulled that off.
Yeah. And it was a sold-out show at the Aragon, which was probably my first time at the venue. And there's nothing like that in Florida. There's nothing like a lot of Chicago down south, I should say. But...
you ever seen a real gator?
Yeah, of course. Sorry. Of course. I've eaten real gator.
Have you really?
Yeah.
What does it taste like?
But you haven't? It's like chicken, kind of. It's like chewy chicken.
Nope. All right, sorry.
You have to get gator tail dusted with like a Cajun. That's how you do it. And then you dip it.
All right, so your first time at the Aragon, nothing like it in the South.
Yeah, and just a completely full room. The energy in there, I'll never forget just the feeling, the hair standing up on my arms. Actually, Amber Lynn played that show.
Oh, and you're wearing the shirt.
Wearing the shirt. And in between the bands, we played a feed of the station, and everyone was singing.
Love it.
And
so you knew you were doing something right. You knew that, okay, we're on to something.
Yeah, it was like that. I'm in the right place. I needed that after kind of losing my job and coming here, and it's pretty intimidating.
Moving for work is a crapshoot.
Yeah.
There's some risk, there's some concern, like, oh man, I hope I made the right choice. So I'll ask you the same question I've asked other radio people who sat in this seat.
There's been other people in this seat before me?
You're not my first.
Jeez.
So where does radio go? 5 years from now, what's radio look like? Does it look like this, sitting in a car?
It could? Yeah, sure, why not? I think it will always be terrestrial. It will always be on a radio, no matter what. I think radio is the one format that you can rely on, that, I don't know, kind of transcends all these maybe other apps and technologies that can be fleeting. So I think it will always be there. However, I think that it has evolved and that it will continue to evolve. And the ones that are going to be successful are the ones that embrace the evolution and try to keep, you're not just doing a radio show anymore. Well, right. I don't go in and just do my show. I go in, we've got, we're making...
You're podcasting, you're videoing, you're all over social media.
Everything. And then social media is just never ending. It's not just Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's Snapchat, and there's always something new.
Sure. Your phone's always blowing up.
Yeah, well, I turn my notifications off.
Smart. All right, so BRGRBELLY, success?
Oh, yeah. I
mean, this really could be broken into two meals. This can be a two-parter.
It probably will be.
Yeah.
Sadly... I don't know if that makes me... I feel defeated right now.
Don't feel defeated. We also have cookies. Butter cookies. You have to save them for butter. That's your reward.
Okay, I'm going to...
We need to get there. All right, Lauren O'Neill, we can hear you middays on 101 WKQX.
Okay.
You're a delight. Thank you for hanging out and giving this a shot and sitting in this very weirdly arranged car with cameras poking around.
Thanks for having me.
Truly a pleasure.